Hello, Exiles. This is Ryan from Behind Eyes Gaming, and welcome to my update for day 2 of my solo self-found Frost Blades Trickster. And yeah, I made some decent progress. I'm currently level 84. I have all of the white maps completed, and I'm about to start yellow maps. But as you can see, I still don't have my main component uniques yet, but I'm going to work on that. And despite that, I have made some decent progress. I have a 6 link, and I'll explain how I got that. But first, let's jump into a map. This is actually my first yellow map I'm going to be doing, so we'll see how that goes together. It's got Enfeeble and more monster life on it, so my damage might look a little low, we'll see, but normally my damage has been feeling quite good since I've got my 6 link, and I've got a couple of other upgrades as well. Alright, so we got the Envoy showing up, so we'll get to start doing those quests pretty soon here. But yeah, oops. Yeah, see the rares here are taking a little bit to kill, just because Union of Souls as well, but that won't always be the case. Well, maybe it will. What are these guys? Also Union of Souls, interesting. First 2 packs, both the same Arch Nemesis modifier. Alright, got ourselves a Steel Infused Chaos Weaver Essence mod here, and took that down. I am even going to pick up the lower tier essences for the moment. I did increase my loot filter, but there are a couple of things that are not on it that I, no drop, like those lower tier essences that I will be picking up. Alright, and yeah, as you can see, it's pretty quick. I've got a lot of attack speed now, so that's something at least. I had to make a little bit of a side grade as far as damage goes with my weapon in order to achieve a higher attack speed. When I have 2 similar DPS weapons, I always take the one with the higher attack speed because high attack speed just feels good. And I'm sure you can probably relate with that. Just like to attack very quickly. Now, I'd still nowhere near the attack speed on my Trade League's weapon, but I wouldn't expect it to be by this point. But it's still very satisfying. As you can see, I'm not going to ever get stuck in my multi-strikes. I'm never going to be in danger because of that. Because, yeah, I complete my 3 attacks very quickly. I have an attack speed or attack time of 0.17, which is pretty quick. Pretty fast. All right, do the mirror tablet here. We're gonna go ahead and swap some water tiles, swap the entrance. Cool, getting that built up. I'm currently working on getting all of my unlocks for my mirror tablet. So currently I have 2 banishes. I want all 3, but yeah, we'll work on that as I can. And then I have 1 skip and 1 like reroll, basically. So I still have a lot of those to unlock before I can start getting really good mirror tablets, but I'm getting to the point where my mirror tablets have had at least a decent amount, usually at least like 3 or 4 good nodes that are gonna get me some juicy chests per one. All right, and we got ourselves the boss here. See how we take him down with Enfeeble and more monster life. The chance for elemental ailments are not particular. Oh, and there's also endurance charges. So yeah, this is a triple tanky map. But you might not live long enough to see the... Oh, it's got Maven on him too. I didn't realize Maven would show up right away. Okay. And still reasonably quick. So I just got the Maven's Beacon, so I'll get to start doing that quest line now, and got a Gluttony. Cool. All right, so go ahead and mess with this stuff. I guess I can check this. It's possible if it was really good I might try to 6 link it. Probably not though. All right, and we'll throw that in, and I'll just deal with all the Maven stuff a little bit later. All right, so first of all, skill tree, I'll go over any changes there. So I think for the most part, I just picked up like the damage while leeching mastery. I had Inveterate last time. I got the crit strike increased by suppress. I'm still woefully under capped for For spell suppress, I'm sitting at 68%. I'm gonna get next level quick step, which will put me at 78%. And what I might do after that is I might swap this elemental mastery over to reduce reflect damage taken, and also take Soul of Yugal right here, which also gives you reduced reflected damage. And then I might do Itziri to try to get Itziri's step as kind of a stopgap to get me my spell suppression, because I'm starting to feel my lack of spell suppression. But yeah, I got like Heart Seeker since last time. I think, yeah, I don't think there have been, oh, I got this other jewel slot. I did Exalt Slam that cold damage to attacks and cold damage with claw attacks just to see if I could get life. I got added lightning damage with claw attacks, which isn't bad, because currently we still don't have our heat shiver, so we don't necessarily need to be focusing all of our damage on cold damage. So it wasn't a terrible outcome. But yeah, there haven't been too many changes to the skill tree. I just leveled up and added some things here and there. Oh, I think I also got these accuracy nodes since I last showed you. So yeah, that's pretty much all the changes. Oh, and I got the percent increase maximum life, which I believe I also didn't have. So yeah, that's pretty much where I sit as far as a skill tree. Gear wise, I have some stuff that's the same. I have the same amulet. I have the same helmet. If you want to check out, if you haven't checked out day one, I'll put a link to that and the original build guide in the description below. Actually, I'll just make a playlist and I'll link the playlist so you can watch both of them if you'd like. So same here. This is a shield I showed off last time that I said I was probably going to use because I had attack speed, chaos resist, and high life. I just crafted cold resist, which I needed on it, and I am using it, so it's a pretty good shield for the moment. I did get the minus mana cost crafts from Betrayal, and actually I have my Betrayal set up pretty okay. So I have like Haku, who is going to help me. I think Haku's the one that increases the quality of equipment. Oops. And I just have some good stuff. I have Elrion, Chimera, Veiled. I have Aisling. Aisling. I'm gonna go ahead and try to make her the leader. So when I get the mastermind, I can get some really nice craft with that going on. But yeah, I pretty much got almost everything I needed as far as my unveils, except I did not get the body armor fizz taken as elemental craft yet. But since I'm using a corrupted 6-link at the moment, and I'm probably, until I get another 6-link to craft on, not going to be using that, that's fine. But yeah, I do have this 6-link. The way I got this is I was doing a mirror tablet, and I had a strong box with like the 2-pip rare strong box one that had corrupted strong boxes, and I got a 6-link, this 6-link that dropped out of it. It originally had 5 red and 1 blue, or it might have been 5 blue and 1 red. And in the same mirror tablet, I actually had a Beyond, and I happened to get, I don't have a lot of Beyond currency. In fact, I only have 1 tainted armor scrap left, which I'm not going to bother using on this because this is very temporary, I'm hoping, at least. But yeah, and just a little extra armor. It's got very low armor, isn't going to make that much of a difference. But anyway, I got 1 tainted armor scrap and 1 tainted chromatic. And one thing you probably may not know about tainted chromatics is that I believe they favor off colors. So this is a strength and intelligence chest armor, so it had a high chance of rolling green. And I knew if I could roll 3 green and 1 red, any other 2 sockets I could basically make work. You know, some combination of stuff I could do, like crit damage, penetration, or like there was any number of things, although Ellie Pen I don't actually have. But I could have done like crit chance, crit damage, got 100% crit chance if I got 2 blues. But I happened to get 2 reds and 4 greens. So instead of what I would normally run on my main build for the 5th one, I'm still running Frost Blades, Multi-Strike, Nightblade, Ice Bite, and then elemental damage with attacks. This could also be inspiration, but I am maintaining my mana just fine, as you've seen. I haven't switched over to Grace just yet. Still, I might not at all until I get a Shaper or Hunter Shield in order to reduce the mana reservation. because I don't really want to have to run 3 pieces of minus mana cost jewelry in order to fit Grayson. I might resort to that if I get to that point, but we'll see. But yeah, then I'm running elemental damage with attacks and hypothermia, which is also a very good support as well. In fact, I think this is damage-wise just about as good as what I have set up, roughly as good as what I have set up on my Trade League character. Rings, I got this ring. It's pretty good. It's not like the greatest. I had to craft intelligence because I actually don't need that intelligence craft anymore, because this claw has a lower intelligence requirement than the previous one I had, which was this one. Actually, I don't need where did I get intelligence? I must have gotten intelligence somewhere else. Interesting. That I did not notice. Well, cool. That works out, I guess. I'm not sure where I got the... Yeah, I'm still not entirely sure where I got the extra intelligence, but I guess I got it somewhere. Alright, so regardless, I did happen to get that extra intelligence. I'm going to go ahead and switch this to something else then if I don't need the intelligence. Let's say... What's something good? I could just go cold damage. I could go minimum endurance. No, I can't, because I no longer... Ooh, okay. This could be good. Global crit chance and crit multi if you shattered an enemy recently. I'm thinking that might be the way to go. Or otherwise, I could just do cold damage. Cold damage is a little cheaper. Oh, attack speed. I'm going attack speed. Always get more attack speed. And got max roll first try. Easy. Easy. Alright, gonna attack even faster. So, yeah, this ring... and then this ring is, I think it's the same one that I had before, but I just crafted the minus mana cost instead of, I think I had flat cold damage. This amulet still has flat cold damage on it. These boots I think are new. They had very high fire resist and about the same life as my previous boots, so I just crafted the cold resist on, which I need. Cold resist, despite all the cold resist crafts, is still my lowest resistance at the moment. This is a new belt. I essence crafted it with a strength essence, so it's just got higher strength. It's got 69 strength, nice. And then 65 life, a very low lightning resist. And the only reason I really kept it is because of the 32% increased elemental damage with attack skills roll on it. Otherwise, I might have re-rolled. And then I crafted evasion energy shield. I didn't really have anything great to craft on it, so I figured more evasion is good. Our evasion isn't actually that high. In fact, it's much lower since we switched to this holy chainmail. But we'll deal with that later. These gloves are a big upgrade. Ignore the influence mods I have on them. I've basically just been throwing every single little ember and all the different currencies I've gotten on the influence currencies I've gotten on them until I get something I can actually use. Currently, I haven't really gotten anything good except like flat fire damage, flat physical damage. I'm looking for strikes an additional enemy and anything else beneficial on top of that. So I'll keep doing that until I get those. These are pretty good gloves and it'll probably carry me on for a while. They have relatively high life. They have lightning resistance. They have attack speed, and I crafted cold damage. So these are just pretty good gloves. They're not super great, but they're good enough that I can use the lesser essences on them and feel okay about that. Yeah, and that's pretty much my whole gear setup. Like I said, exact same helmet. I don't have my Uber Lab Ascendancy. I actually, out of habit, I've only run into one trial, and I accidentally skipped it out of habit. I'm so used to just running past them so I could have Heartstopper right now, which would be enormously defensively beneficial. I am starting to die here and there. I have 13 deaths. I died 3 times during campaign, twice to Roas in Act 1. I got Frostweaver, I think it was, Roas, that spawned right on top of the Roa eggs, and I stupidly went back a second time and died to them again instead of just resetting the zone. And I also died to Ralikesh in Act 6 because I stood right on top of him and I insta-killed all of the minotaurs that jump on you and turn into pools of lava when they die, and like 4 of them turned into pools of lava right under me about the same time he hit me, and I just died immediately before I could do anything because I wasn't like moving around like I should have been. So that was a stupid death. So yeah, I died 3 times in campaign and 10 times in maps so far. I'm starting to feel, and most of my deaths in maps have been recent as well. So I'm starting to feel the lack of defenses. I don't have Fortify, Heartstopper, or Grace currently. Defiance Banner is still pretty good because it reduces our chance of being a crit. So that's nice. But yeah, Grace is just way better. So once I get that in, that'll be nice. So that's the gear, that's the skill tree. So as far as what I did, like I said, I completed every white map. I was focusing on farming lower ones, but I got to the point where I'm like, I can just progress. I'm feeling fine. Everything feels pretty well put together. So I just started progressing, and it's worked out so far. So I'll keep doing that for a little bit. My Atlas tree is going to look really weird. I'm going to respec out of all of this. Normally, you wouldn't necessarily do this, but I feel like going through all of the scouting report and Kirax stuff is going to help me a lot with my completion. And also, when I start farming Guardians to get ready to do Pinnacle bosses, I want to have a lot of scouting reports because you can roll the Guardians and the Conquerors their maps in Kirak missions in red maps. So that is my plan. I'm going to just accumulate a lot of scouting reports so I can get a lot of those fragments, and that'll make breaking into doing Pinnacle bosses a lot easier down the line. I probably shouldn't be going for Abyss yet. I should probably spec out of these actually. Oh, I got another point. But the shaping the seas, shaping the skies, and shaping the valleys, those are just to make it a lot easier to drop higher tier maps so I can progress more easily. I've also been buying maps that I didn't have completed through here. I don't have a colonnade, for instance. I don't have a canyon. I do have a dry sea, so it's not completed yet, but I'll be doing that. So I'll accumulate that kind of stuff too. I have plenty of bubblegum currency because of the doing the lakes. Lakes drop a lot of it. I also did a little bit of heist, which helped as well. Looking for uniques. The brute force and I believe engineering have uniques, but I did a bunch of them and I didn't find a lot of unique chests and I didn't get a ton of uniques. My unique collection, I got a wise oak. That's notable. I did get a wise oak, which is really cool. If I can balance my resistances, I'll definitely be using this. So I got that. Anything else cool? Shaper Seed Tier Purity, nothing great there. Mortem Morsu, which actually, if you don't have a better claw and you happen to get this early on, it might be worth, running this. It's not super good, but if you have like flat cold damage on jewelry or from jewels or whatever, this can be, at least for like white maps, just like a stopgap because it's just a fast high crit claw for early game. Apex Rage is pretty neat. Nothing great there. Tempestuous Steel. This was my very first unique, Queen's Decree, pretty useless. Quacholi I got, which got a big buff. I never actually looked at it, but for a 22 mace, this is like high damage with guaranteed explosion. Too bad at that point, and 42 all attributes. So this is actually a pretty nice leveling mace. The downside being that when you actually want the explosions, the monster density in early game isn't that great. Axiom Perpetuum. A really nicely rolled, like this is a max attack speed, pretty high lightning damage rolled Voltaxic Rift. I'm probably not going to play a second character, so that doesn't really matter, but I just thought it was neat that I got a pretty good one there. Soul Rest also is nice. My stabs, pretty cool. Belts, Maginord's Girdle is pretty sweet for like leveling and stuff. I got a lot of unique gloves. I thought about using Surge Binders at some point because it's like, 41% elemental damage since I have so many frenzy charges, but yeah, I don't want to miss out on like the attack speed and life and all the other good stuff the rare would give me, but I did consider it for a bit. Boots, nothing crazy. Storm chargers with kind of low rolls. 3-step assault is actually a pretty good pair of boots, but I think rare boots suit me better at the moment, and I definitely need the resists. Other than that, nothing super great. Ice Tome, Blood Bond. The only helmet I've gotten, unfortunately, is the 3 dragons, and I don't need to be igniting with my attacks, so that's useless. I got my Conqueror's Efficiency, which I might pop in order to get Grayson, Inevitability, and Static Electricity. So that's pretty much my uniques. Another thing I'm doing for the future is I'm starting to accumulate Magic Find gear here and there. So I got 35 rarity here, 23 here. I actually think Gifts from Above is a pretty underrated magic finding item because it gives you a ton of damage and some defense in the form of Consecrated Ground, which gives you regen and attack block when you're on Consecrated Ground. And then I believe it rolls up to 50% rarity from enemies killed with a critical strike. So that's pretty cool as well. And 50% damage on Consecrated Ground. Overall, this is like a pretty good ring. As far as like budget magic find gear goes, I think Gifts from Above is pretty high tier if you can't get like a good, another different, like an Andavarius or what's a Venter's Gamble, like a well-rolled Venter's Gamble. And I got 8% rarity on these boots, so not super great. But I have a little bit of rarity on my gloves as well, so maybe I can put together, even if it's just like 150 or so rarity. So I'm also planning on beelining over to enriched entities just to do some magic finding. So I'm probably going to spec out of this stuff here and just use all of my points to get over here. This can duplicate map boss, and it makes map bosses have 75% increased rarity. And I might just spam a bunch of low tier maps in order to try to basically grind out Heat Shiver, because at this point Heat Shiver is going to be by far my biggest DPS upgrade. So that might have to be the way that I go, but I'm going to give it a little bit longer, see if I just drop it naturally, and if not, then I'll do some magic finding, and that'll be fun too. Yeah, so that's pretty much the plan. That's where I'm at. It's been fun so far. I've really liked it. As you can see, it performs pretty well for the amount of effort I put into it and everything. So yeah, hopefully I'll have some more upgrades. Actually, in theory, this is where my progress really starts to skyrocket, because I'll start to see, higher tier items, and I'll be doing more like higher rarity maps in general. So in theory, if we're lucky, we'll get to see this character really start to flourish in the next day or two. So look forward to that. Hope you enjoyed all of these updates so far. This has been Ryan from Behind Eyes Gaming, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.